All right. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I am so excited to be with you today and to talk about this awesome topic. My name is Lindsay Davis, CEO of Spartan Invest. For those of you who don't know, Spartan Invest, full service turnkey company in Central and North Alabama. And I am here today to talk about our extension into a new state, new market of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yay! Woo! Man, and if we were good, like tech savvy, we would have sound effects and like confetti blowing, but we don't have that right now, but maybe next time. So I want to take the opportunity to talk to everybody and then answer any questions about the Chattanooga market, why we decided to go into this market, what are some of the benefits, and kind of what that looks like moving forward. So we started our SIPS episodes probably about a year ago, and really just as an opportunity to talk during the COVID shutdown and hey, what did all that look like? Well, all of a sudden we found out tenants didn't have to pay rent, et cetera, answering a ton of questions. There was a lot of unknown, but we kept it going just to let you guys know what's going on with Spartan Invest and our property management company, Alabama Rental Property. And so we have several guests on here from time to time. Today is just me. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this move into a new state. This is a huge deal for us. This is our first venture outside of the great state of Alabama. So we're very, very excited about it. And so I'm just going to take just a mini SIPS episode to talk a little bit about that. So first off, Birmingham has been where we started and have been primarily for the last 10 years. And we are also in Huntsville and that surrounding areas, Athens, Decatur, and then also Tuscaloosa. And what we offer is single family homes as rental property investments. And then once you've purchased the property, we continue to manage it after the fact. So we chose Chattanooga, honestly, because of the similarities to Birmingham and Huntsville and what makes Birmingham and Huntsville great turnkey markets. There's a few metrics that we'll dive into. I've got a lot of data that I want to share with you guys. So we'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like. But just in population standpoint, Chattanooga is right at about half the size of Birmingham, but the location is centrally located by Nashville, Knoxville, Atlanta, Birmingham, and Huntsville. So it's in a great area surrounded by just really booming economies. And for those of you who may not be Spartan clients and may not know the growth that Huntsville's seen, if you haven't read about it, or the growth that Birmingham has seen, please check it out on our website. We have a ton of market reports and data out there showing all of the job growth in the Southeast and especially in Birmingham and Huntsville. So please check that out. And some other kind of key demographics as well for Chattanooga. Your average household income is very, very similar. So you're looking at right at about $55,000 as far as average household income. And Birmingham, we're right at 50. You've got our average rent in Chattanooga. So home prices and rent is slightly higher in Tennessee, just in general than it is in Alabama. Honestly, that's one of the big perks of Alabama is how low the home values are, how low the home prices are. But Chattanooga is a little bit higher, but your still average rent is still just barely over $1,000. And your average home price is right at $240,000, and that's what it was in 2020. So in of last year. And then renters make up right at about 40%. We like that. We've talked a lot about that owner occupant tenant ratio and where that needs to be to make sure that you've got the quality of the area that the home ownership brings, but then you also have a healthy pool of qualified tenants. And so it's a nice mix. So we find that 60-40 ratio is kind of the sweet spot, and that's kind of the areas that we focus on. And so Chattanooga as a whole definitely meets that criteria. Another thing that's very similar to Birmingham and Alabama in general is the extremely low property taxes. Now, Tennessee is slightly higher than Alabama, but it's still one of the lowest in the country. And comparatively speaking, it's almost not even a comparison based in property taxes in California, New York, Texas, a lot of these other very, very highly populated areas just have very, very high property taxes. And through COVID, I think one thing too that we saw with Alabama and rental property in general is the resilience through a global pandemic. And honestly, that was not a test that anybody was wanting to take, but it was one that we got put in front of last year. And what we found is the consistency that the single family unit can provide, and especially to investors. And Alabama not being very heavily centered in an entertainment industries really helped provide a lot more stability through all of the shutdowns. So many of the jobs in Alabama were deemed essential. So we did not see the eviction moratorium. We definitely felt a lot of it and still feeling it since it has gotten extended. But we didn't see the numbers of the eviction rates going up like in other states. And Tennessee is very similar to that. And right now they've been very consistently under 5% in the unemployment area. And that a lot of their larger employers are manufacturing blue collar, quote, essential workers. And, hey, we would make the joke that no, at Alabama, you don't have a lot of entertainment, but still, like during the global pandemic, it definitely was a benefit for sure. And the appreciation for Chattanooga, right now, they're looking at last year, they were right at 10%. So I know everyone knows that the market has gone crazy over the last 18 months with interest rates being at an all-time low. We've seen in the inventory shortage right now. I know that everybody knows that, but what the actual is per market, Chattanooga experienced right at a 10% appreciation. So which is fantastic news. But on average, if we want to look at kind of what can be expected in the future, on average, their total appreciation has been right at 3.5% year over year, which is still, a phenomenal appreciation when you're talking about purchasing at a much lower price point. So, and another thing too that makes Tennessee very attractive to employees wanting to work or go there is, hey, we have there's no personal income taxes on wages and salaries. Back on June 1st was when our local territory market manager moved up to Chattanooga to start getting that area up and running. And I will have her on probably in a couple of episodes, just so she can talk a little bit more about the inventory she's purchased and some of the trends that she's seeing, how long it's taking her to get those properties rented. So we'll have her on in the next little sips. But until then, I didn't want to pull her away, but I know she was very excited about the no income taxes. So I know she's definitely enjoying that. Do we have any questions or anything yet? Nope. All right, just want to make sure. So that is all the kind of the high points that I have as far as like the Tennessee market. I can go a little bit more into the colleges that are around Chattanooga. And, you know, they have Chattanooga State University, Lee University, Cleveland. There's a ton of different colleges surrounding the area. Of course, there's Knoxville, where University of Tennessee is, but you know, nobody counts that one. I'm just kidding, just kidding. Everybody does. And then a lot of the other employers, we do have a Chattanooga market report that breaks down all of the current employers, all of the upcoming employers, how many jobs they're bringing to the area. And in our market report is on spartaninvest.com. So please go to our website and check that out. Download that for more information on Chattanooga. Also, if you are interested in touring Chattanooga, we're going to do a virtual tour to let you guys see from home all of the high points in the area. It's a great tourist location with Lookout Mountain and Ruby Falls. If you haven't had the chance to take the kids to the aquarium, it's obviously very well known for those attractions. So we'll do a virtual one, but then we'll also begin to offer actual physical tours of that market and of the surrounding neighborhoods, and that where we're focusing on in early 2022. So get some inventory under our belt, and then we'll be able to start showcasing all of that inventory to all of our investor clients. And one last thing, this is not anything to do with Chattanooga. This has to do with our summit. And if you are not registered and you want to come, that is being held in February here in Birmingham. We're also going to offer a Huntsville tour as well. Our guest speaker is Damon John from Shark Tank. We're very excited to have him come speak to everybody about entrepreneurship and kind of what it takes to make that jump into owning your own business, whether that be with real estate. We've got a panel of ton of other great speakers. So if you are interested, please go to our website to learn more about the Spartan Summit. Registration is open in 2 weeks. So we're really excited to have that at the beginning of next year as well. So we've got a lot of things going on, and I really appreciate you guys taking the opportunity just to hear me talk about Chattanooga and how excited we are to help our investors diversify their portfolio a little bit more by adding another market to it. And that's not going to be the end. We're going to continue to grow and continue to add additional markets so that our investors, we can essentially be a one-stop shop and offer properties in Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, and wherever else. So we're really excited about this expansion and about the Chattanooga market. There's so much to learn. So please, if you guys have any questions, just send them into our website at spartaninvest.com, and the Chattanooga market report is on there as well. So if nobody has any questions, that's all I've got. Jesse's she's behind the scenes. We're good. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And I hope to see you guys in Birmingham and Huntsville in February of 2022 at the Spartan Summit.